Hare Krishna. We will read what we welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. We're going to discuss Canto 4, Chapter 30, Text 8. A very beautiful verse. Every verse of the Bhagavatam is sweet and beautiful, but some verses have deeper meaning than the others. So I think you may appreciate the message of this verse. śrī-bhagavān uvāca varaṁ vṛṇīdhvaṁ bhadram yūyaṁ nṛpa-nandanāḥ sauhārdenā tuṣṭo sauhṛdena śrī-bhagavān uvāca vṛṇīdhvam bhadram yūyaṁ nṛpa-nandanāḥ sauhārdenāpṛthag-dharmās tuṣṭo sauhṛdena varaṁ vṛṇīdhvam bhadram yūyaṁ nṛpa-nandanāḥ sauhārdenāpṛthag-dharmās tuṣṭo sauhṛdena varaṁ vṛṇīdhvam bhadram yūyaṁ nṛpa-nandanāḥ sauhārdenāpṛthag-dharmās tuṣṭo sauhṛdena Mataji's, ladies, Vaishnavis.
śrī-bhagavān uvāca varaṁ vṛṇīdhvam yūyaṁ nṛpa-nandanāḥ sauhārdenāpṛthag-dharmās tuṣṭo sauhṛdena
śrī-bhagavān uvāca
varaṁ vṛṇīdhvam bhadram
yūyaṁ nṛpa-nandanāḥ
sauhārdenāpṛthag-dharmās
tuṣṭo sauhṛdena
tuṣṭo sauhṛdena śrī-bhagavān uvāca varaṁ vṛṇīdhvam bhadram yūyaṁ me nṛpa-nandanāḥ, sauhārdenāpṛthag-dharmās, tuṣṭo sauhṛdena.
Word meaning.
śrī-bhagavān uvāca, Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
varaṁ, benediction, vṛṇīdhvam, ask, bhadram, good fortune, of you, yūyaṁ, you, me, from me, nṛpa-nandanāḥ, the sons of the king, sauhārdena, by friendship, apṛthak, non-different, bhadraм, occupation, tuṣṭo, pleased, aham, I, sauhṛdena, by friendship, of you. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction from me. Please repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
My dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction from me. Perfect. Since the sons of King Prachi were all united in Krishna consciousness, the Lord was very pleased with them. Each and every one of the sons of King Prachi was an individual soul, but they were united in offering transcendental service to the Lord. The unity of the individual souls attempting to satisfy the Supreme Lord or rendering service to the Lord is real unity. In the material world, such unity is not possible. Even though people may officially unite, they all have different interests. In the United Nations, for instance, all the nations have their particular national ambitions, and consequently, they cannot be united. This unity between individual souls is so strong within this material world that even in a society of Krishna consciousness, members sometimes appear disunited due to having different opinions and leaning toward material things. Actually, in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be two opinions. There is only one goal, to serve Krishna to one's best ability. If there is some disagreement over service, such disagreement is to be taken as spiritual. Those who are actually engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be disunited in any circumstance. This makes the Supreme Personality of Godhead very happy and willing to award all kinds of benediction to His devotees. As indicated in this verse, we can see that the Lord is immediately prepared to award all benedictions to the sons of King Prachi.
Om Yānti Brindasya Yāmanjanāśvadya Chakṣuvidharmena Tasmai Śrī Gurave Namah Śrī Caitanya Manobhisham
Sthāpitam yena bhūtale Swayam Rupa Dhammayam Dadāti Svāvāhantikam
Vandeham Śrī Guru Śrī Gopāla Śrī Guru Vaishnavaṁ Śrī Bhagavān Sārajatam Sāgara Raghunātham Vidam Tam Sajivam sarvekam savadhutam Vajna Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Śrīla Kṛṣṇa Padam Sauhārdenā He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tatra Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vṛṇāveshwari Vrishabhanam Sutile Pranamami Hare Vancha Kalpatarvyasya Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Paritana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. श्री-bhagavān uvāca vṛṇīdhvaṁ bhadram yūyaṁ nṛpa-nandanāḥ sauhārdenā tuṣṭo sauhārdenā. So the Supreme Lord is the speaker of this verse. The Supreme Lord was very pleased by the austerities executed by the prachetas. Who were the prachetas? Oh, they were the sons of King Prachina. Their father, the king, was deeply engrossed in fruitive activity. Now he was getting old. He did not realize that death could come at any time. And he was deeply engrossed in material activity. Narada Muni, a great sage, took compassion. Narada Muni, uninvited, entered the palace of the king. Normally, one only goes to someone's house if he's invited, am I right? You don't ever go uninvited. But a sage or a devotee of the Lord does not wait for an invitation. If we would wait for an invitation, we would not distribute one book a day. The devotee goes uninvited. And now the Muni approached the king and guided him. The king had understanding about spiritual knowledge, and he had sent his sons, the prachetas, to perform austerities. And the sons performed austerities for 10,000 years. And they chanted a mantra that was given to them by Lord Shiva. Sometimes people think that all gods are one. Take any path, the result will be the same. But the Vedas clearly establish 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐚𝐜 apṛthak. Krishna is the only master and all others are subordinate. And in Brahma Samhita, what Brahma says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Ādiyādi Govinda Sarva Karna Karna. Ishvara means controller. Just like in any country, you have various levels of control. You have the local council, the local municipality, then the state government, then the national government. So similarly, there are many controllers or Ishwaras. But Lord Brahma says, Krishna is the Supreme, the cause of all causes. So Lord Shiva gave the prachetas a mantra that glorified Krishna, not himself. And the Pracheta has chanted that mantra for 10,000 years. In the 10th canto we see that Brahma, Shiva, Indra, the principal demigods, all glorify the Supreme Lord. Once Lord Shiva had given a benediction to a demon called Vrikasura. The benediction was, wherever he places his hand, everything underneath will be destroyed. Actually, Lord Shiva saw that this Vrikasura was offering flesh from his body in a sacrifice. He said, why are you doing this? You're hurting your body. This is not good. And Vrikasura said, I want a benediction. Lord Shiva said, what do you want? I want a special benediction. Lord Shiva, without hearing what he wanted, said, okay, no worry, I'll give it to you. I'll restore the flesh back in your body. So, as soon as Vrikasura, the demon, received the benediction, that wherever he places his hand, everything underneath will be destroyed. He spread his hand over Lord Shiva's head. Lord Shiva had to flee. And ultimately he fled and came to the spiritual planets where the Lord had disguised himself. And when Vrikasura came running, the Lord said, why are you running? Who are you chasing? I'm chasing Shiva. Why? He gave me a benediction. Wherever I place my hand, everything underneath will be destroyed. And I wanted to place my hand on his head and he fled. But then the Lord said, but don't you know, ever since Shiva quarreled with Daksha, his father-in-law, his benedictions have no value. They don't work anymore. So test it out, and if it's true, then you have a reason to harm him. Otherwise you can't harm him. So Vrikasura said, that's a good idea. And as soon as he placed his hand on his head to experiment whether the benediction was true, his head burst. So Shiva, Vishnu, or Shiva, Brahma, Indra, they all accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord. So the Prachetas performed the austerity by chanting the mantra that glorified Krishna, and as a result, the Lord was very, very pleased by their sacrifice. And sitting on the back of Garuda, the Lord came to the location where the Prachetas were there. And the Lord said, I'm very pleased by all of you. All of you have done very nice devotional service. And the Lord was very pleased. So here in this verse, the scene is, the Prachetas are there, the Lord, sitting on the bank of the Garuda, comes to where the Prachetas are, and the Lord is addressing the Prachetas. What did he say? Many sons of the king, I'm very much pleased by the friendly relationship amongst all of you. So why is the Lord pleased? The Prachetas were brothers. But all the brothers had one goal. And what was that goal? To serve the Supreme Lord. They were all individuals. But the Lord was pleased because they all had one goal, which was to engage in devotional service. All of you engage in one occupation. Many times people say, what's your occupation? Isn't it? You fill any form for any job or anything, you have to write down what's your occupation. So the verse describes that the Lord said, all of you have one occupation, namely devotional service. And I'm so pleased with the mutual friendship that I wish you good fortune. Now you may ask any benediction from me. So what the Lord is saying in essence is, He is not pleased because the Prachetas were the sons of a king. He is pleased because they all had one occupation, one goal in life, to engage in devotional service. And because the Prachetas were united in their endeavor to please the Lord said, I'm very, very pleased with you. And Prabhupada, in the purport, elaborates on this point. The purports written by Prabhupada are as important as the translations. Sometimes devotees have a tendency to just read the translation and not the purports. But if you don't read the purports, you won't understand the true meaning of the verses. And Prabhupada, when he would be writing the purports, he would have in front of him the purports of the previous acharyas. So he took the essence from these acharyas' commentaries and added what was relevant to make these verses understandable. So what is the Lord saying? Since all of you are united in Krishna consciousness, I'm pleased. So this is important, that on the devotional path, we all have one occupation. Someone may be a householder, someone may be a brahmachari, sannyasi, but we should be united in one goal. That is to please Krishna and to serve Krishna. And the Lord made it very clear that I'm pleased with you because of your unity. Prabhupada used to say, united we stand, divided we fall. So if we are united in serving the Lord, then you can achieve a lot. If we're not united, then what happens? You don't achieve much. I've seen that even in ISKCON, where the temples are all united, where everyone's united. They achieve a lot. And they're not really united, they don't achieve much. So spiritual unity is very important also in any community. And even for a community to develop, you need unity. And this unity can be achieved if everyone's focal point is to please Krishna. Every action that we do, every breath that we take, every word that we utter, our examination should be, am I going to please Krishna by this effort? Or am I going to please myself? If the goal is, if the answer is, going to please Krishna, then we can go ahead. So, Prabhupada makes it very clear, in the material world, such unity is not possible. Prabhupada used to often give the example of United Nations. It's called the United Nations. Regularly, new flags are being hoisted. But actually it is divided nation. They call it United Nations, but in reality it's divided. Even America politically today is highly divided, am I right? I mean even in one country, in one community, you find there will be so many divisions. Because the goal is not to please Krishna. The goal is to please the ambition of different political leaders, different social leaders. Therefore we can't unite. To most people, unity means act on my terms. And if we don't act on my terms, then there is disunity. But our goal should be pleasing Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer. Bhoktaram yajnataposam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Krishna is the real bhokta. That we must realize. Now, how is it that by serving Krishna we become satisfied? The Bhagavatam gives the example. When you water the root of the tree, Just by watering the root, the branches get nourished. When you're hungry, all the parts of your body are weak. Just by putting food in one location in the stomach, all the parts get nourished. Prabhupada gave us a story. Once the different parts of the body went on strike. They said, everything good ends up in the stomach. So the eye said, I'm not going to look at any food. The hand said, I'm not going to lift and put anything in the mouth. The leg said, I'm not going to walk toward the dining table. So they all decided to go on strike. And then they realized that all the parts of the body became weak because they stopped feeding their stomach. And then they called another meeting. How can we all become weak now? So one of the parts said, well, now we stop feeding, putting food in the stomach. So Prabhupada is saying that the important thing is that we keep Krishna in the focal point, that Krishna in the center. So in the material world, they can't achieve unity because everyone is ambitious, everyone has their own goal. But in spiritual life, unity is possible where we all have a common master. Prabhupada used to often say, we have only one party. Prabhupada used to comment on different political parties in India and different parts of the world. Prabhupada used to say, when ISKCON we have only one party. Whose party? Krishna's party. So someone may say, yeah, well, we all understand that this is nothing new. It's nothing new, but sometimes we forget. So we should understand that if we want to please the Lord, then we have to make Krishna the focal point. Prabhupada in the purport says, this unity between individual souls is so strong within this material world that even in the society of Krishna consciousness, members sometimes appear disunited. Prabhupada says, actually in Krishna consciousness there cannot be two opinions. One goal, to serve Krishna to one's best ability. So we serve Krishna according to our best ability. Different individuals may have different abilities. Someone may be Hanuman, and someone may be like a small spider. You know that famous story. Spider was trying to clean a path for Lord Ram. And Hanuman went and wanted to push him away. Come on, get out of the way. Your effort is almost negligible. And Lord Ram said, no, he's serving according to his ability. So Prabhupada says in the purport, every member should serve Krishna according to one's best ability. So Krishna knows what your ability is, and we know what our abilities are. Prabhupada used to say, sometimes people say, Krishna says, bhadraṁ puṣṭam phalam yūyaṁ. Offer me a leaf, flower, what else? Water and fruit. I will accept it with love. Sometimes people say, oh, I can offer Krishna food also. But Prabhupada said, Krishna says this, so according to your ability, you can serve. Not that you eat in a silver plate. When it comes to Krishna, you offer him a tulsi leaf. Krishna clearly says, serve according to our ability. So, we must remain united. Now to remain united, an important element is the element of humility. Most of the disagreements on the planet take place why? They take place due to our ambitions, egos, and goals. If we practice humility, that helps in developing a good relationship. What does humility in spiritual life mean? Humility in spiritual life also means you look at the good in everyone. And if you look at all the devotees, you'll see everyone has some skill, some ability, some qualification. Prabhupada used to say, we should be like a bee and not the fly. What's the difference between a bee and a fly? Who knows the difference?
Fly is always goes on the bad.
Fly, always looking for dirt. Stool, muck, dirt, garbage. This is what the fly enjoys. And the bee is just the opposite. It looks for a clean environment. Prabhupada used to use this example to say, look at the good in every devotee. If you look at the good in every devotee, then you will begin to respect that individual. But if you don't look at the good and only look at the faults, then you never appreciate anyone. And in that case, you won't appreciate anyone, and unity will be hard to achieve. So Prabhupada on numerous occasions guided us to have the mentality of the bee and not the fly. Look at the good in everyone. Prabhupada used to deal with devotees in such a personal way. Even if we did some small insignificant service, he would say thank you 4 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The devotees felt really indebted. So the point is, our goal in life should be to engage in devotional service. And when we engage in service for the pleasure of the Lord, that makes the Lord very pleased. The Lord is very pleased when he sees a devotee cultivating the mood of humility. There are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was explaining to Sanatana Goswāmī the principles of Sharanagati. Sharanagati means what? Sanatana Goswāmī also resigned from government service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him on the process of devotional service. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu outlined 6 steps. What's the first step? Accept everything favorable for Vṛṇīdhvaṁ. We talked about this last night. The other one was to reject what is unfavorable. Then to understand that Krishna is your maintainer and protector. He is the ultimate maintainer and protector, not any demigod, etc. Then Lord Chaitanya said, to have your desires consistent with the desires of the Lord. That is important. What does this mean? This means that this is the Lord's desire, that's my desire. Not that my desire is the Lord's desire. Most of us would like to be in a position where we think, my desire should be the Lord's desire. Am I right? But Krishna said, Lord Chaitanya said, accept Krishna's desire as your desire. And what is Krishna's desire? We engage in service of the Lord. And then humility. So humility is an important element on the path of devotional service. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that's why Krishna's Kaviraj says, this shloka is so important that we should tie it around our neck so that we never forget it. This shloka is a key to all problems and the solution to all problems. Not practicing it makes it the cause of all problems. And practicing it makes it the solution to all problems. Srinādapi sunichena amanina manadina ketina visarari. So, we should apply this verse in practice. We know a lot of verses. Most of us know the elements of the philosophy. But the important thing is applying the philosophy in a day-to-day life. And that is the challenge in front of all of us. How do you apply that? Lord Chaitanya said, more humble than a blade of grass. Why did he say more humble than a blade of grass? Everyone walks over the grass, and the grass tolerance it. More tolerant than a tree. A tree, as you know, serves in every condition. Trees also have life. Studies have been conducted in different parts of the world which show the trees not only have life, they also know how to communicate with each other. So, more humble than a tree, more tolerant than a tree. So, how to develop humility? Humility can develop once you know that Krishna is the object of my service. Once you know, I'm here to please Krishna. He is the ultimate boss. He is the ultimate master. And I'm his tiny, insignificant servant. We should consider ourselves to be insignificant servants. We all know how much Prabhupada did to save humanity. But whenever we went to give him credit, he would never take the credit. He would say it all happened by the mercy of the spiritual master. So, in this verse, the Lord is speaking to the Prachetas, and the Lord has said, I'm pleased because all of you are united in your desire to please me. That's why I'm pleased. So that should be our goal, that we want to please Krishna. But someone may say, but everyone is thinking I'm trying to please Krishna. If you do a survey, even the Ritiks will say, I'm trying to please Krishna. So how do you determine what's correct, what's incorrect? The tragedy or the illusion of society is no one ever thinks he's wrong. Even the terrorists justified, oh, I'm doing this in the name of Allah. So, how do we determine what's right, what's wrong? For that we take the help of sadhus, guru, shastra. There's a certain structure in every organization. We follow that structure. So, we need to all meditate on this important point. And the objective of all our activities should be to please Krishna. And if that is the mentality, and that's the mentality that we should all cultivate. Big leader, small leader, medium leader, everyone. If that is the mentality, then there is unity. And in the unity, there will be prosperity. Prosperity in spiritual life means Krishna consciousness flourishing. What does Krishna consciousness flourishing mean? Devotees are blissful. Devotees are happy. Devotees want to preach. And this is very, very important. So Prabhupada wanted unity. Prabhupada gave another example. He said if you take a stick by itself and bend it, it will break. But if we had several sticks put together tied with a rope or grass, and then you try to break it. Can you break it? It won't break. So Prabhupada used to say, we should be so united that no one can disturb this movement. Prabhupada even said, for this Krishna conscious movement to go on for the next 10,000 years, no one from outside can harm you. But if you're not united inside, then that can harm. So we need unity, and the theme of unity and the cause that will make us succeed is humbleness, tolerance, desire to please Krishna, desire to do every activity for the pleasure of Krishna. And if we need guidance, in every sphere of life we need guidance and help. We can always obtain that. So by studying the scriptures, this point comes up again and again. We have a GBC college in Bombay where future leaders of ISKCON are being trained to take on more responsibility. One of the key elements in the course is to teach the principle of unity, the principle of desiring to please Krishna, and how to have the mood of unity. Unity doesn't mean you can't have your individual thinking. We're all individuals, and there may be 2 or 3 approaches to solve a problem. But we should be united in that. I want to please Krishna. And if I find that by some effort I'm not pleasing Krishna, then I should abandon or revise my effort. And as leaders, our goal is to bring unity. So Krishna is the object of pleasure, Krishna is the object of service, and the best way to serve Krishna is by chanting His holy name. As we chant the holy names of the Lord, as we endeavor to cultivate the mood of austerity, mood of humbleness, you will find an overall improvement in spiritual atmosphere. Lord Chaitanya instructed his followers to write volumes of books. He left behind only 8 verses identified as the Shastra. But in these 8 verses, Lord Chaitanya has summarized the entire purport of the Vedas. So this verse, the 3rd verse of the Shastra, should be our guiding spirit for everyone, and that will help bring unity. And in any organization, unless everyone unites, and in any discussion, unless everyone unites, it cannot be successful. So this verse emphasizes the mood of unity, which was also Prabhupada's great concern, and the present leadership of ISKCON is also focusing on that. And we are focusing on servant leadership. I'm a leader and a servant. This doesn't mean we don't respect our seniors. We respect them. But our mood should be dasana, 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 dasana. That is our philosophy. I am Das. Very often people come to the temple and say, can I see Mr. Das? If you ask if Mr. Das, they won't. So we are all Das and Dasis, servants of the Lord. So let's endeavor to cultivate this mood. And the Prabhupada often said, nothing is impossible on the spiritual path. If Krishna sees we are sincere, Krishna sees he's sincere but he has some deficiencies. Krishna says in the Gita, those who worship me with devotion, I preserve what they have and I make up what they lack. So we may lack so many things, Our goal is to please Krishna and to achieve unity, to keep the community united, to keep the movement united. Then we have to take this advice. There will always be some give and take and achieve unity, because that will please Krishna the most. And that should be our goal. So I thought we've lectured on this verse in many parts of the world, because everywhere there's a need for improvement. In every community, the devotees have to be molded, reminded as to what Prabhupada wants, what Krishna wants. And if we sincerely make an effort, that's attainable. I've seen many ISKCON communities that are completely united and they keep moving forward. And you see that everywhere. The strength comes in unity. So united we stand, united, divided we fall, was something that Prabhupada quoted many times. If we hear Prabhupada's lectures, he was always reminding us, remain united, remain united, remain united. So that should be our focal point. Hare Krishna. Okay, that's all. I want to leave some time for questions or comments. Any questions? Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the nice lecture.
Well, the verse was nice. You can thank the Srimad Bhagavatam.
It's very practical from a family to the society to the country. So very practical. So Maharaj, let's start.
Yes.
Like
even in the Bible it said, the family that prays together
stays together.
stays together. So if somebody is keeping Krishna in the center and chanting, then the family also stays together. And one of the reasons why families break up these days, because they don't have a central point of uniting. That's why they end up in divorces and children leaving home. Yes, what's your question?
So Guru Maharaj, so like in the family, like different members may have different opinions on a situation. So and everybody wants to please Krishna. No? So how to resolve those things? Like sometimes it turns up even the kids actually they think they know
better.
They know better. So
Prabhupada gave an example. He said once a father was being massaged by his children. Every son was trying to massage the father to his best ability. But they were in the process hitting the father so hard, the father said, "Are you massaging me or are you beating me?" so it has to be intelligently done. And if we need help, there's a structure in ISKCON. So there are always devotees ready to help achieve that. Sometimes we may not know which way to go. We need help. And we should be free to take help from Vaishnavas. Any more? Yeah.
Maharaj, Prabhupada says that the disagreement in service is spiritual, should be taken as spiritual. So how do we take it spiritual and at the same time we say that there should not be disagreements? So how do we take it service?
Achindya Beda Tattva. Okay. See, the disagreement is in terms of viewpoint. Somebody may say, let's say we're designing a temple. Someone may say, I think the temple room should be this, should be the measurement. But someone else may say, no, I think the entrance should be from here. So that disagreement is not to be taken seriously, because people also have a right to express their viewpoint. We don't say, all of you have to become dummies, and you can't think straight. So we respect the right of everyone to think. But still ultimately there is a process. Just like Prabhupada appointed the governing body commission to run the society. So individually devotees have so many ideas. These ideas go to the GBC body. The GBC body discusses it in detail and then comes to a mature decision. We don't say, you can't think at all, just follow blindly what we say. And now the GBC body has created another body from this year to whom all the GBC resolutions will go. And if they have any serious objection or they think that this is not practical, they can discuss it and report back. So, in running our society, we have a structure that allows people to give their individual viewpoints also. So we don't say you can't think, thinking is a sin. That's what we do. So that's what Prabhupada means when he says that this argument is not to be taken seriously because the goal of the party disagreeing is also to please Krishna. Yes? Yes.
My question is, I guess, combination of all humility, unity, tolerance. So sometimes somebody may be in a temple management position as a temple president or member of board or something, and sometimes it gets into the habit that, okay, whatever we say, just follow, don't argue what we say, and people try to beat others with the stick of humility, not applying to themselves. That we are the authority, just follow what we say. And if somebody gives their opinion, they are considered as, oh, you are questioning, you are not being humble. So in that scenario, like how to handle that situation?
Challenging question. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya says, a devotee by his behavior must convey the meaning of religious principles. In other words, I must convey or act in such a way which is purely religious, exemplary. So, I can't just say follow me, but I also have to be exemplary. It's in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's there in Prabhupada's hundreds of letters. The beauty about Krishna consciousness is everything is in black and white. It's in the books, purports, Prabhupada's darshans, letters. Nothing is up to chance. So it's very important that we be exemplary. It's there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's there in Prabhupada's letters, books. But at the same time, we also have to follow a structure. Sometimes the structure may make mistakes, but we still have to follow the structure. But even if there is a mistake, there's a process of purifying it. There are different layers of supervision in ISKCON. So one can always appeal to the next layer. But if we are all exemplary, that makes everything very simple. But at the same time, if there's a structure, president, council, we should also follow them. We can't say, I don't agree, so I don't follow. Then also things will not move. You follow? Okay, any more? Yes.
Gumash, you mentioned that.
These are all questions from, yeah.
one should serve through according to his or her capacity, like the Hanuman or the little spider.
Yeah.
But in other occasions you mentioned that one should hunt for rhinoceros. If you want to go for hunting, you should go for rhinoceros. So how does one ascertain his or her
Prabhupada said that. You can shoot for that, but then you'll come somewhere near it. But if you don't have a target, then you won't achieve anything. It's just like Prabhupada told us once. When Prabhupada was in college in Calcutta, he had a professor who said, you should always aim to get more grades than what you need to pass. Let's say the pass, you need 50% to pass. So you should aim that I should at least get 90% or 80%. So if you aim at something high and achieve whatever you can, that's better than aiming for something very low. Any more questions? Yeah.
If I could add one thing, it came to mind.
Please add.
It was once devotee asked Prabhupada, how do you know what the temple president is telling me to do is Krishna's desire?
How do we know?
He says, how do you know that?
Okay.
And Prabhupada said, you don't know. You have to judge it by the result. So we're not so concerned about the results, but as you mentioned, we see in the history of our movement, things correct themselves. But if we have enough respect and trust for others, then we allow them to make a mistake, just like you have to let your children make mistakes sometimes and let them grow. So we were not looking for perfection.
I was explaining that we have a certain process in ISKCON. Our president, GBC, there's that. So there are various layers of government, and if something is incorrect, there's always room for correction. But we should correct ourselves. We can't continuously be on the wrong path. Okay, any more questions? No? No questions? Thank you very much.